Give up.
There we go.
Oh, hello.
So Jason is still working, but we have action. So this is the official Supreme Buick pre-show for tonight's 311 day celebration. They are in the same arena. The ring apron has not been, everything is just a default because, well, you know, the Supremes didn't have time to bring all their materials, and we're having a 8-man tournament because why the hell not? So we're starting off with Mike Miller and Wim Nyman in this 8-man tournament for something. I'm not necessarily sure what anybody gets out of this. I think just violence.
I mean, it could be, you know, like $50 off certified pre-owned. It could be a free sandwich.
You know, nobody knows. You know, Hero is trying to dip his toes into the promotional pool here, and I don't really know what. He doesn't think things through. Maybe you get a sandwich or something. Who knows?
I mean, does anyone in any kind of managerial or, you know, administrative role ever think anything through in a Super Chat Pro?
No, not at all. This is just, I don't know. And the matchmaking here is a little odd because Mike Miller is a man with a funny nose and Wim is a man who has funny eyebrows. So these guys are, I guess, a match made in heaven. I don't know. It's almost like it's almost like Mike Bianchi is not just the only.
If you were to tell me that the names were drawn out of a hat, I would not be surprised.
Drawn out of a Buick branded hat.
I noticed Picaporte's reffing, I guess, letting Bianchi maybe slept in, or, you know, maybe he just gets to the arena a little later in the night.
You know, I understand.
It's not a the realm of possibility for Elder.
I understand letting Picaporte handle this because, you know, this isn't the main show, and Picaporte barely gets any time in the ring anyway. So, you know, everything in the league is about the Bianchis at all times.
Of course. It is kind of weird that, I mean, it's not often, but, you know, the fact that our head referee occasionally will lace up the boots and wrestle is,
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
It's kind of odd. Yeah. Oh, big overhead suplex. I'm just trying to rip Miller's face off of that cross face.
I don't blame him. That nose is really easy to hook, and that's I don't know. Miller has a very strange head.
I always feel that it's just gonna. It's so it's usually so red and from all the drinking Mike Miller does. I just feel like it's gonna burst and blood's just gonna spray everywhere.
It very well could happen. I'm not sure how that happens to one's face, but it does, and here he is.
Miller jerking off Wim's arm, which is disgusting.
I
can't believe we're allowed to show that even on the internet.
It's like the stuff that he does to get his fix is despicable.
I mean, every man in this league is a deviant of some type.
I don't think Wim is, and that really makes me wonder why he's here. Because you'd think a Dutch kickboxer of any marginal skill would, get a job somewhere.
Have deep criminal ties?
Yeah, that could be, like, he doesn't talk much. Especially not to
We're
us.
gonna find him with, like, 19,000 kilos of cocaine one day just in his apartment. It's like, what the hell, man? You're like, well, just gotta make money. That's what we do in Holland.
Yeah, it is what they do in Holland. So I mean, we've crossed the 15-minute mark between these two, and neither one of these guys really gets a lot of airtime, and I feel like at least it's interesting to see them compete in a singles capacity, not just tossed into a scramble where SCFL somehow steals the show every week.
Yeah, I mean, when you've been in every scramble, you kind of have some ideas of when to attack, when to cower in fear, when to roll around and pretend like you hurt your back, missing a handspring back elbow, and everyone just kind of avoids you. You're flailing and shrieking like a madman.
Although I do think SCFL has a week off from the opening scramble. Is that true? I'd have to look that up.
Yeah,
but
he's in a tag team match with his pseudo uncle.
Yeah,
I don't say paternity test. The DNA tests have not come back to show that he's related, as far as I'm aware.
Mike Miller working over the anal cavity, I guess you could say. I don't know. Something about this guy is really fishy. I just don't trust him. He's alternating between working the butt and working the arm, and I'm not really sure what in professional wrestling works over both the butt and the arm. Well, he went down to an axe kick, so that's
really intense pump handle.
I guess so. I guess he's just. I mean,
if you just really rack him, really.
94%. I mean, for a warm up on a warm up show, that's a pretty damn good match, I believe.
Now, can we confirm that this is Bixen's band? Is this someone else doing these pre-show?
I don't. I think that because it is a Supreme production, there is an entirely different person who is handling this because we go live in just over an hour for the main show, and this is the pre-show right now if you're just tuning in. And, you know, the Supreme Buick people are in the house. They are putting on this event. I'm not necessarily sure why Bike has sold off the pre-show portion of the event to another promoter, but I guess that's just how this works. Somebody is talking in my ear right now. It sounds like Hero because he's swearing a lot. Oh yeah, and I quote, "fucking moron cheesesteak" is back there. He's in the house. He's still trying to rest up after his concussion, but he's rating the matches. So
okay, well, I was hoping that cheesesteak we'd get some shots of him, you know, and maybe in the front row in a neck brace, you know, sitting very stoically as he looks on.
Yeah, I don't know. He's backstage. He's helping out his uncle, and I'm not necessarily sure why he's helping out his uncle.
And I can only imagine that Sanders Suzuki is like trying to like hand feed him a cheesesteak sandwich or something. Like, come on, bro, you gotta eat, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and that, you know, the action in the ring. I mean, it does run deep. I heard that Sanders has his hair clippers, and he's been helping Cheesesteak keep his fade tight. Excuse me. I don't really know the terminology of this stuff, but you know, I guess that means he just goes around and clips his hair for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he can't get to a barber shop. Maybe they don't trust the barber. I don't really know what's going on there. If that's some sort of sex talk or something, I don't know.
Speaking of, I guess, friendships or teams, I mean, we have two guys part of, you know, two very solid teams. We have Media Ito, one half of Adjectives International with especially Esposito, and we have Aladdin Bell, one half of the DSA Bros with America Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've ever matched up in team action, but I think that'd definitely be something that if Mike Bianchi could get beyond, you know, jerking off his family every episode, yeah, that'd be something that'd be a good show or a good match.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real here. This is the pre-show. Bike is not paying attention. I have a text message from him that says "Love Bike," that he's out buying food. I'm not necessarily sure what he's buying, because Let Lou and Xylophonist are the caterers. There are many things, I guess, but maybe he has to buy them more bread or something. I don't know. I mean, Bike's office, if you haven't seen it, is a goddamn mess. It just looks, it's an atrocity.
It's a disaster.
There's like takeout, you know, boxes and stuff. It's amazing that Bike is in the shape he's in. You know, which isn't exactly amazing or anything.
Last week I walked past it and he was like, it was locked up and it was dark, but like I still heard rustling. So I don't know if he's got like a vermin, like a rat problem. Who knows? It could be Let Lou and Xylophonist just playing grab ass in there at night. I don't know.
I mean, now especially that they have Dougie as their third. I mean, maybe they were just showing Dougie the ropes. You know, there's a whole bunch of air ducts.
The secret panels.
Yeah. But I don't know. But there's also a chance that maybe they're storing bread balls somewhere in there, and that did attract vermin. I mean, that's entirely possible.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that Bike continues to be allowed to rent out this civic auditorium week after week with the mess he leaves it in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Disney Ice-Capades was attempted to come here last week, and you know, they had to reschedule the whole thing. They were supposed to do a week-long run because everything was in disrepair, and the Zamboni, which is used to clean up all, you know, like help smooth over the ice, was just completely broken down. Apparently, somebody had been going through it and taking parts off of it. We can only assume that it was Xylophonist and Let Lou. I don't know what they need Zamboni parts for, but I mean, essentially, SCFL is almost the sole inhabitant of this arena, which is insanity.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have confirmation, but I assume that, you know, Ichabod Adams probably punched a few holes in walls after him and his cronies have lost, just out of
They've been losing a
impotent
lot.
rage.
They've been losing a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised to see a chair involved in this match.
Yeah, and I'm also surprised to see that Picaporte isn't really doing much, considering I always thought he was a little more up on the ball than Sledding in terms
Yeah.
of what's supposed to happen in a straight wrestling match.
Yeah, he's just letting these guys go at it.
I mean, but it could be an issue from the top down. Just let everything go.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen any of the edicts that Bike passes down. Although technically, Sledding is the head referee, so he is technically in charge of some of these decisions. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I assume that, since Sledding has made so many mistakes, that Bike just tells, Picaporte and that one blonde ref we had one time just to let everything go, so it seems like, Sledding's up on the ball and everything matches.
Yeah, I mean,
if nobody calls it, Sledding can't be wrong.
I'm greatly confused as to who that blonde referee was, but sometimes.
I mean, I recall Kelly shouting that was his son Mickey, but he had just gotten kicked in the head really hard, and you can't trust what he says 90% of the time.
That's not Mickey, but at the same time, anything with Kelly, I don't even know anymore. That man has taken such a beating and we have to be complicit in the whole thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if we found out that Kelly doesn't even have a son. He just his addled brain just invented a son named Mickey. And that was the man he saw before him. I mean, you can't tell with this guy. He's eating cigarettes. He's yelling at bus stops. I mean, not even the jokey chail son and little dog tried to feed a carrot to a bus because he thought it was a horse. He's just yelling at the actual bus bench.
I mean,
I don't know if there was like a lawyer advertisement. He was just hollering at the guy on the picture, or what. But
I mean, we've been.
I had to bail him out because he was causing a public disturbance, and it was for yelling at a bus stop, an empty bus stop.
I mean, we haven't seen Kelly in a while, but that is also the whatever doctors are here in Belly Ribbon, Iowa, would not let him go into the ring for a while. But I've heard that we're going to see him, not just see him next week, but see a lot of him in honor of St. Paddy's Day, and I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, I don't know what Bike has in store.
Yes. Kelly probably should never wrestle or fight again, but we know how Bike honors contracts, just like he did with Alex Thompson, and we all saw what happened with that. That man is no longer with us. I'm not sure if our ring will still be stained with the bodily juices, I guess, but last weekend we had to deal with it stained from a dead man. It's an atrocity.
His future endeavors are entirely in the realm of decomposition.
Yeah. I guess that is something you can say for Michael. He does honor contracts.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I wonder though, like, a guy like Kaizen, who presumably has a contract but has never actually appeared, is he getting paid even though he's never, like, is it a per appearance? Is it just a flat rate of you get X number of dollars per month, and Bike's just taking big losses by Kaizen never knowing how to show up?
I don't know. I mean,
I wonder if he'll ever show up, because I've been on the phone with Kaizen trying to coordinate when he's supposed to appear, and not even discounting the language barrier. It's just it's a mess.
Wow, Aladdin used the octopus hold on immediately Ito and was able to tap him out. We've seen a more submission-based Aladdin of late, which is I don't know. It's been interesting to watch. And Ito has, of course, Ito. I think at this point he's such a focused tag guy. Like he's so focused on his tag team that singles competition seems to be a little bit the deep end of the pool for him right now.
Yeah, I've also noticed that he in some I guess you could call them dark match, kickboxing events in the sort of recent past. He bulked up quite a bit, and he looked pretty good. And I don't know if he's trying to cut back down to middleweight to go back to the standard kickbox, and he's just not he's not quite there yet, and it's a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. Wow, we're going right into it. We have, Zoroastriani Brown, the tiny mouth model coming out.
Such a tiny mouth.
Yeah, this guy is just, he's always about showing off his body, but he's trying to always hide his mouth. And he's going up against Chuchai. Chuchai had a good showing in the U.S. title tournament, but did not make it to the Final Four this week.
Yeah.
We have a lot of guys trying to find their way still and find out where they belong. And, this tournament that Supreme Buick has been putting on is perhaps help decide a little bit. I don't know. It's
yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to come of this. I mean, Spike may barely be aware of who's even in this and the winners, and so you never know with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, this is happening in his rented arena with his talent. This crowd is here to see an SCFL show. So Spike should, in theory, but you never know with Spike.
Yeah, I mean, there's. Mike Miller's a substitute teacher but he's from Tennessee. He didn't really bring any kids to this event. There's not a lot of substitute teachers on this tournament to fill up the arena.
Right.
Like the rest of the card's going to feature. So it's just kind of a little awkward. No one really knows who to cheer for. Partly because they just don't see these guys too often. So it's kind of confusing. I mean, at least people see Ichabod and they know to boo him and throw half empty cups of beer.
Yeah, you see Ichabod, he's trash. You see Zoroastriani Brown and you think, there's a good looking man. Oh wait, why is his face so weird? And that's about all you're really doing right now. I mean, he did have some some victories in the kickboxing realm. He definitely held at least the banger title. No pun intended here, for a man of his profession. He's always shown himself to be quite a competitor. He had a little run here going for the shoot title a while back, which of course didn't really seem to suit him. But I feel like we have so many competitors here. Everything's so confusing that these guys will take any airtime they can get sometimes. And I feel for them,
Yeah, we could do 4 or 5 8-man scramble matches a night, or a week, and we'd still have guys who at the end of the month had been on a show.
Right. It's just for some reason Mike has hired so many people. Like basically, if somebody, it's almost like I don't know if you ever seen the movie Spirited Away, but. The old witch, if you go and ask her for a job, she has to give you a job. And I kind of feel like Mike is living at the same... maybe he saw that movie, found an old DVD or something and watched it and just decided to live by that credo of somebody asks for a job and he gives it to them. I don't know, but I don't feel like there's much quality control here. I mean, some of these people are really miserable and sad and pathetic people.
I mean, the fact that, a guy like Mike Miller, a guy like Dougie Middle,
Right.
some of these truly, I mean, a guy that couldn't, throw a punch to say, oh, geez, there's Picaporte down.
Yeah, he's not looking good. He's bleeding.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Our refs are just made of paper mache. Chuchai hits his finisher,
it's
but
a rare
nobody's there to
man
count.
that can.
Give up.
As I said, it's a rare man that can collide with Chuchai and not come away, bloody.
That's true.
That guy is,
his elbows are just pointy as hell.
I mean, elbows, knees. I mean, even the headbutts. It's what is it? Left way, the crazy martial art where they just it's kickboxing but with headbutts.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wishes that was available in Super Chat.
Yeah, I'm really you got to give credit to these guys. They're really going at it. Zarastiani making a good use of distance with the kicks and whatever, because you don't want to be in tight with Chuchai, the elbows, the knees. But a lot of Zarastiani, his offense is really close range, flashy, big moves. And if you're not getting close enough to a guy to be able to actually touch him, I don't know. His body kicks are fine, but I would probably argue Chuchai's body kicks are more damaging. So I don't know what his plan is here. I mean, he's looking good with his kicks. Roll up, I mean, I get what he's trying to do. All of his moves involves him thrusting his crotch in the air. That's the male mullet in him.
Yeah.
He's just always looking for the perfect shot. But there's children in this crowd. I mean, I'm not sure that these children are going to actually turn out to be anything. But
they've got to learn about sexuality at some point, Dave.
That's true. They do have to learn. It might as well be from watching a male model a lot of crotch dusting.
Hello, Sound Trustable. Thank you for joining us in this pre-show tournament.
Give up. Give up. Shoot. Shoot.
Zarastiani is finally getting his stuff together here. Posing a lot for the crowd, and
he's got quite a lot of stuff to put in focus, I guess. I don't know how to phrase that exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know what to say about a man like this. He is. He has been featured
he's
in
the kind of
some
guy
those...
that's got to cut a peanut in half because it's too big for his tiny weird mouth.
Yeah. I mean, this is the guy that's been featured in Subway Calvin Klein ads, but only the Subway ones because
But will never feature in a Subway sandwich shop ad because he just couldn't eat it.
No, but he's in those ads because they cut off at the neck, so they don't have to see his face and his weird little mouth. Both guys have done springboard drop kicks to the outside. Picaporte actually doing a count while they're outside the ring, something that Sledding Bianchi has stopped doing because I don't know why he doesn't do it anymore. It honestly, I
think it puts too much stress on him to gesture that emphatically.
I mean, the man has had multiple strokes.
In the ring. We can't stress that enough. In active competition, in kickboxing matches, he has suffered strokes.
I mean, the first
one.
one.
He's healthier than Kelly in terms of. I would wager Sledding Bianchi in a general fitness test could outmatch Kelly.
Yeah, I assume so. I mean, Sledding's first stroke happened at the hands of Hero Supreme, who just punched him in the heart a whole bunch of times until he just turned red and passed out. And that was quite a moment.
Oh,
I'm not sure why. Chuchai going outside looking for that springboard.
Big elbow.
Yeah. It's hard for him to follow up after a move like that. He put his all into it.
He's such a little violent man.
He really is. Just like everybody else, he's a sad man. But, he was a Muay Thai star at a young age. And he was tied up with a sex scandal there. And that's how he ended up here. And that's also how he ends up getting pinned by a German suplex from Zoroastriani Brown, the little mouthed model. We are here live, the Supreme Buick pre-show. Tonight is the big 311-day celebration by the Sons of Anger. They won the Trios Championship last week after the Supreme family actually had to abandon it because Cheesesteak Supreme, suffered a pretty severe concussion a couple of weeks back and won't be able to compete for a while. So, this is it's a tough business, and their rivals ended up going on to win that title. So of course they're going to celebrate. Of course tonight at stroke of midnight, it's 311 day, and the Sons of Anger.
It's already 311 day post, and
yeah, it's true. We are
Japan's been rocking with 311 day for hours now.
Right.
At this point.
We are in Belly Ribbon, Iowa, though, so we still have a little bit of time.
Sure.
So we have Charles Dubois against Wat Pyman.
Wat Pyman, a recent college grad, as far as I'm aware. He's got a fledgling tag team with Mike Miller. He told me they want to call themselves the TAAs because that is a teacher's assistant and Mike Miller is a drunk. And I guess they just want to advertise both of those facts as best they can.
Wat has some interesting fashion sense for a guy who's a little subdued. White arm guards and knee pads with black boots and trunks. I don't know what kind of a statement he's trying to make here. He's going up against a much more colorful Dubois.
I mean, it's an interesting color palette, but it's definitely something that gets some notice, gets some, it's like he's, you kind of think of him, oh, he's that guy with the sort of mismatched gear, as opposed to a guy like when Spencer Morgan's not wearing his suits, he's to be honest, a little basic. He's just black trunks and black boots. There's nothing spectacular about him until he puts that suit on.
Yeah.
And I've seen Wat Pyman try to I don't know if it's he just thought it'd be a funny goof, or he considers himself in the level of, but I've seen him wear kind of an Indiana Jones sort of a cosplay outfit before, and
God.
it didn't really work, and I said just stick with the trunks. It was weird.
Everybody's got their own idea of what they are, like, what they look like in their head, and sometimes it's not, reality doesn't reflect what we want it to be, and for Wat Pyman here, that seems to be the case, while Dubois is just grinding away on him, really putting the boots and the elbows and the fists to him.
Yeah. Wat had one of the more interesting retirements in kickboxing that I can recall. I mean, we've seen guys who have suffered one big knockout and just not been able to continue, or you can suffer a big leg injury, or in Miles Manhoof's case, he got a lot of kidney damage. He just couldn't cut the weight, and Super Chad only has the one division, so he was kind of a shit out of luck. But Wat just suffered. He was basically in the meat grinder of a fight, and he said no more. He battled for, I believe it was a 25-minute fight, which randomly will happen, as as in the same vein that Sledden Bianchi kind of doesn't know the rules of pro wrestling. Sometimes the referees and everyone around the kickboxing ring or the kickboxing cage, I guess, don't really know when to stop a fight. So sometimes they'll just go an extra 2 rounds, and he fought his heart out, but he took a lot of damage in one fight, and didn't really get knocked out as far as I can recall. But he said that was it.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to. I thought that's it meant he was done with all of it, and he was going to get his PhD and be a professor of Greek antiquity or whatever his plans were. But he's dove into this pro wrestling thing. I mean, he doesn't fight a ton, but he's showing up here for this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking okay. I mean, he's going up against Dubois. Dubois is a fan favorite. Heavy hands, and everybody knows him here. Everybody loves him. This guy's been in some wars, and that Superman punch probably could be the one that put him away here, but...
Probably the most beloved Frenchman that I can recall in wrestling history. Well, I guess Andre the Giant.
Yeah, but people didn't really think of Andre as a Frenchman. Which they should have, because you heard the guy talk. Oh no, let loose on the Twitch. He's clearly not working the cameras. That we clearly have a fixed camera for tonight for the Supreme Buick pre-show. I guess even the fixers need to. I don't know. Hey, don't ask Led if he's made out in a dark hallway. He's never made out with anybody. It's very clear, unless him and Xylophonist have experimented.
I mean, does it count if you're kissing your mom goodbye and you kiss her on the lips? Goodbye, Mom. I love you. It's like, have fun at college, son. Smooch.
Your fucking gross, salty, briny lips.
God. Like, instead of a milk mustache, he just has like a ramen powder seasoning mustache. Like a sweaty upper lip.
He still shaves with plastic training blade razors because he doesn't really, I don't know much about his family, but I don't think his dad is present, and his mom just tries to fill in for the dad, I guess, but she's afraid that he's gonna cut himself. I don't know how he shaves, honestly. Does he not have grow hair?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, unless he just doesn't grow hair on the top of his head, he seems like he has a very closely shaved, haircut.
Yeah, maybe he has a hormone deficiency. I mean, that could explain a lot of the issues that Let Loose had. Oh god, he's man. And Watt steps out of the way and hits him with an attempt for a brainbuster, but gets reversed and dumped out of the ring. That was quite an exchange here.
Oh,
it just shows that Dubois is indeed the veteran here, and there's a reason why he's heavily featured, and Watt is not exactly as seasoned, I guess you could say. And seasoned, of course, when we're talking about Let Lou and his seasoned lips. That's what happens when you just straight up guzzle down ramen flavoring packets like they're Fun Dip.
Yeah.
Watt is really, he's making a go of this, I guess you could say.
He's trying. He's trying. I mean, Dubois is a tough guy, though.
Former .TV champion Dubois. This is a big match for Watt. He doesn't really get opportunities like this.
Yeah, and it's again another example of just the weird matchmaking in this tournament. I mean, we had a guy like Wim versus a guy like Miller. We have a guy like Dubois versus Hyman. I mean, Zoroastriani and Chuchai was, I think, a lot more evenly matched than those other two matches.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, this is, he's still going, and that's the thing. Matt Hyman in the black trunks here against Dubois in the purple and black, and oh my god, Murph has finally arrived, the prodigal son. This is the Supreme Buick pre-show for tonight's big 311 themed Sons of Anger event. We have a huge show as usual, and yeah. Right now we are watching a continuation of an 8-man tournament that is going on during the pre-show, and Watt Payman is fighting good old Dubois. Payman really taking Dubois the distance here. This is, you know, as you mentioned earlier though, Payman in his kickboxing career, when he had to go 25 minutes, kind of gave up on the stool. And I'm curious if he's going to run into the same sort of cardiovascular issues in wrestling like this. You know, Watt Payman here within the black trunks going for those chops. He's getting more than he can handle, that's for sure. Dubois with the Superman punch, and that, folks, is that's one of his big moves there. To the back of the head, even. I mean, there was no way that guy was getting up from that. So Dubois moves on to the next round of this 8-man tournament, and to nobody's surprise. Cheesesteak, doing the rating.
Cheesesteak, I think he might be losing interest.
Yeah, he's sort of. I mean, we're going into the second round here of this tournament. Wim Nyman here, the Dutch kickboxer. Wim had a really good showing in the first round of this tournament. He's definitely one of the top guys that hasn't really gotten to be, he hasn't really picked up enough steam here in the pro wrestling world, but he's gonna have a tough match against somebody like Aladdin, who is all about submissions and twisting people into knots. So here we go. So we have Wim Nyman here, Dutch kickboxer, going up against, well, son of an alt-right asshole, I guess you can say, socialist Aladdin Bell. Aladdin is his style is a little reminiscent of another somewhat notable, I guess you could say, socialist. I think it's Zack Sabre Jr., I guess. It's, pretty similar. He's looking to break arms, doing some weird submission holds and stuff. Yeah.
Well, at least, his trunks don't make him look like he's wearing a diaper. Which, sometimes happens with Zack with some of his gear.
Zack is a very skinny young man who, sometimes his trunks do look a little strange on him.
Not to talk too much about, the competition, but I do like when, he'll be walking out to a match and he'll like flip the collar of his jacket up like it makes him look even more badass when he's just a skinny kid, and it's like you're trying a little too hard, buddy.
Right. And Aladdin is really trying to work over that arm with Wim, and Wim is a Dutch kickboxer. He does need use of his arms to put up those earmuffs for blocking, but You know, we saw in the last round he is a kick-heavy fighter. He
Yeah.
is looking to hit a lot of axe kicks and body kicks, leg kicks, head kicks, the whole gambit of the kick family. And Aladdin is looking to keep him grounded, working the leg now. Very smart.
Well, I mean, I guess you could see, you know, the two sides of it. You know, like, okay, well, in terms of,
Give up.
you know, working the arms, you know, they might not be as strong and as it's not necessarily impervious, but you know, it might not take as much to really wrench something loose on that arm, whereas you know those thick muscular legs, it's going to help to neutralize them, but it's going to take a while, I think, to really wear them down. Considering Wim probably throws, you know, about 1,000
Give up.
heavy, you know, kicks to the heavy bag every morning,
Right.
each leg.
You know, Aladdin is just looking for that arm. He's taking damage. You know, he's got to get in there close, and that lets Wim do axe kicks,
Give up.
low kicks, and he's even doing a lot of open palm strikes, pulling off some Boss Root and stuff there. Aladdin with the Workers Unite there, that double arm bar, but Wim is still not worked over enough to really be damaged enough by that move. You know, there is a size difference here. Aladdin is a lot smaller than Wim.
Yeah. Wim knowing that the key is the spine with that big kick to the back.
Yeah, he's
seated.
he's working the midsection for sure. He's throwing body kicks, throwing those knees to the back,
One.
running and kicking him in the stomach. Like he's no fool. He watches. You know, he might not be on every show. He's sure as hell watching.
Yeah.
Cross.
You know, Aladdin going up, you know, for some high flying moves. And it's not uncommon with him, but it's not exactly his bread and butter at this point. He is more of a grounded guy, but you know, you still see these shades of, you know, he's not a big guy.
Yeah.
Give up.
Old.
Try not to mention bread and butter too much if Let Lose lurking in the chat.
That's true.
Just
He,
FYI.
you know, maybe me saying that before made him run off because he's not typing anymore.
Yeah, maybe it made him remember he had stashed some in a vent somewhere and he had to go retrieve them. He's got a big day tonight. Or,
Yeah, he's in the main event, which with I don't know. I'm concerned.
it's gonna be weird.
I don't believe it's a trio's titles defense either, which really makes you wonder. What if these guys? What if the new fixers now, you know, once was 2 is now 3? What if they win?
I mean, Ducky Middle went 30 goddamn minutes with Discussion Davis, who,
Right.
you know, his tag team struggles aside, we still believe. I mean, he's a former world champion. We still believe he's a top level singles competitor.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for some, you know, maybe ill-timed jumping hug attempts, Dougie might have pulled it off.
Yeah. Death Valley Driver only gets the 2 count for Wim.
Oh, so close.
He's looking for that backdrop suplex. That's his favorite move to use here. And Aladdin, you know,
He just
every
wants
time he
to
goes
obliterate
behind
the
him,
body.
yeah, every time Aladdin goes behind him, he's just he knows what's coming and he doesn't want to eat that.
Yeah.
There it is, but it was in the ropes. Picaporte all over it. That could have just saved Aladdin, and he goes for the arm bar. He's in the ropes too, but you know, he's doing some damage here. Even if Wim wins this, he's going to have one hell of a pain in his arm.
And I mean, he's still got, or you know, the winner's still got what? One more match?
Yeah, this is
The semifinals right here.
yeah, one night 8-man tournament, and You know, these can be pretty unforgiving. You know, Aladdin has just been grinding him down here, and it's, you know, with a guy as versed as in submissions as he is, I'm a little concerned. We've seen the DSA hurt people before. I mean, they hurt poor, poor Raul. Yeah, like it's just, oh, the workers unite. I don't know. He's been working that arm over. Somehow, Wim was able to power out of that, and I don't know. That's at a certain point you have to wonder, what is this random tournament with no real stakes that we know of worth you know, damaging your body for? I mean, this is the Supreme Buick pre-show. Tonight is SCFL Pro's 311-day celebration, where the Sons of Anger will be featured in the main event. We are crowning a U.S. champion tonight as well. And none of these men will be the U.S. champion tonight. Wim's arm is like hanging by his side. He just hit a big backdrop suplex. Couldn't hold on for the pin like he usually does. He's hurt. He's not doing well. If he has to move on to this tournament, I don't see it going well for him.
Yeah, he might have to just hope to land a big, you know, knockout kick at this point.
Yeah, Aladdin reversed the brainbuster and did this giant karate kick from the top.
My God.
This is, you know, I feel like Wim has done a lot of damage to him here, but it's not as focused. And the arm work, all it takes is one big hold from Aladdin, and this could be over. Aladdin went for the rolling German, but he was by the corner. Oh, there's the head kick. Oh, wow. Wim went for the backdrop, and that was his undoing. Aladdin held onto that arm and then pulled him down to that Fujiwara armbar, and that was it. I mean, that was... what could he do at that point? Aladdin moves on, and that's... I'm surprised, but anything can happen on Supreme Buick pre-shows. Jesus really likes that. I don't know how he's going to feel about Zarastriani against, wow, I forgot already. Dubois.
Good old
How can anybody forget Dubois?
Well, he has matching gear. It doesn't stick out in your mind as much as a guy with black boots and white pads.
Zarastriani is in tighty whities, but we'll let it go. Well, they're designer, so we'll let that go.
Yeah.
I mean, the few times we've seen Kelly in his tighty whities, that has been, well...
unnerving.
Yeah, usually
to say the least.
A lot of blood. A lot of caked on blood, too. It's not just, like...
Yeah. It's... I mean, there's dried blood, there's, like, a slow seep from, I guess, the bridge of his nose sometimes, just the nostrils. It's... He's a mess. He's never gonna be... I don't even know if he was right to begin with when he joined the kickboxing league.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know who has an advantage going into this match. Both men had tough matches the last rounds.
Give up.
I think this is going to come down to a stylistic thing.
Yeah, I think Dubois got the advantage in that he's got the one-hitter quitters that he can just uncork, but I don't know. It's a matter of pulling them off, just landing that big punch or that big slam.
Yeah, and Zarastriani is a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more into the showboating aspects of wrestling here. But yeah, winner goes on to the next round, the final round of this tournament, and you have to fight Aladdin Bell, who is looking to rip arms out of their sockets.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the Supreme Buick pre-show. We're here. This is SCFL Pro tonight, 311 day, celebrating the Sons of Anger's Trios Championship victory, and we have pretty big card coming up, and this is just a pre-show.
Yeah, we've got a couple of titles up for stakes when the regular event kicks off as soon as the tournament's over, I would assume. I mean, who knows how long that'll go. There's no time limit on these matches, which might be toward our detriment.
Yeah. We have had in the past some things go horribly wrong.
Yeah. Like Ichabod being a world champion, for one.
Yeah, Ichabod being a champion for a good number of months would be great.
Or the whole Alex Thompson thing, that didn't go well. It ended worse, which, you wouldn't think it might be possible, but that's not the Super Chat way.
No, it's really not.
Super Chat way is throwing gasoline on a grease fire.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that's the Bianchi way.
Yeah,
We're just employees. We have no control over what happens. We're third-party commentary.
Right. I mean, Bike means well, but does he?
Does he try well?
Yeah, I mean, the Bike way. You know what I mean? Like what is the Bike way?
I mean, the fact that a guy like Michael Bisping, he, as far as I can tell, doesn't really give a shit what he says or what people think about him, thought that Mike Bianchi was a poor choice to manage his social media account after a couple of months.
That's the Bike way. And then, of course, Bike handles bookings for a lot of the substitute features in the league. Yeah. Oh, Dubois setting it up. He's going to go for that big Superman. And that was just flush in the jaw.
Wow.
Johnny didn't want to stay down for it. Grass Johnny sends him to the corner. I don't know what he's looking for, but it didn't work out.
I mean, it is probably a glancing blow to that small jaw, that tiny baby mouth.
Only a 2.9 there. I went for that big body slam, big power slam, and Josh Johnny was able to slip over, but then was floored pretty easily. Oh God, here it comes. Oh, he misses again. Dubois just wants to hit that big move, that big Superman punch, and it's just not working out. Dubois going the low blow. He's frustrated here. He's willing to do whatever it takes to win this rather worthless tournament, which I don't know what the reward is. I've been inquiring backstage, and Hero has not really complied with telling us what this is all about. Dubois driver. That's it. We have finals.
I don't have much money, but it's on Dubois. He's devastating.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the finals here. We have Aladdin Bell going up against Dubois. Hopefully, Murph. Hopefully somebody gets a free tracksuit out of this. Although I don't know if any of these people want a Supreme Buick branded tracksuit. So both these guys have been through wars tonight, and I don't know. You gotta wonder if the submission savviness of an Aladdin, you know, he's gonna work that arm over of Dubois, and Dubois relies so much. I mean, there he is. There you go. Dubois relies so heavily on those punches. So here we are, finals. I was just getting word from Hero that the winner gets, well, they don't get a car. They do get a gift certificate, which is actually just like a sandwich club card for 10 free sandwiches, which of course you have to be in Philadelphia and go to the Supreme Gym. So these men are fighting for essentially, I don't even know, $25 worth of sandwiches, I think.
I mean, it's better than some of the other prizes I'm sure that people have won in Super Chat history.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
My God. Now he's working the leg over. He's just doing everything that he can to keep Dubois grounded.
Yeah.
Alex Thompson did indeed win a free funeral. You know. Wow.
5 minutes gone.
You know, at least these guys aren't getting Bianchi bucks. That would have been the worst. Wow, we've got a Singapore Cane in this match, and you know, these guys are not exactly hardcore wrestlers. Dubois did have a slight run at the hardcore division, but he's had more experience than Aladdin has, that's for sure. He took a cane shot to the chest, and he's still going. So
now, in terms of Bianchi bucks, who do you think among the general Super Chat roster would be most likely to actually stream on Twitch to redeem a Twitch shout out from the Bianchi bucks?
I don't know. I mean, we saw somebody last week redeem. I don't remember who that was.
No, I mean the actual of the wrestlers. Who do you think would be the most likely? I mean, I can
probably let Lou.
See, I could imagine Ichabod being in his fucking little basement nook, playing, you know, World of Tanks, or, you know, like playing Wolfenstein but not doing anything, just standing there and like letting himself get killed over and over and laughing.
You know, he doesn't like the Wolfenstein games. I mean, you know, I do have to wonder if there's some sort of mod that lets you play as the bad guys.
1, 2. Hey! Give up. Give up.
Big gut wrench for you. Dubois! I feel like I should always be saying it that way. Dubois! All caps, multiple exclamation points.
While the pre-show is going on, Jason has other engagements. He should be here in a matter of moments. But we are in the finals of the Supreme Buick Invitational 8-man tournament. This is the pre-show. We're going to just wrap up here. This is the finals.
Give up. Give up. Give up.
There's the armbar. He's looking to put this away early.
10 minutes gone.
Dubois looking to keep up the kinetic energy here.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know what Aladdin was going for in the corner, but Dubois was able to fight his way out of it. Dubois going up top, which he connected with an elbow. Excuse me there. Now we're trading blows. This is the finals here, folks, of the Supreme Buick Invitational. Winner goes home with, the winner goes home with the Supreme Buick Sandwich Club card.
Which, I guess it's good that Zoroastriani's not in the finals, because he could make use of that. I mean, unless he made sandwich smoothies, which sounds disgusting.
Uh-oh. Here comes Duval looking for that big Superman punch. Back of the skull. Oh.
1, 2.
Only a 2 count.
Wow.
That would have been nothing to be ashamed of for young Aladdin Bell.
Aladdin's been deep. He's I guess really wants to patronize a small local, well, I guess not local, but a small business over, the brutal capitalist, corporate forces of the world.
I don't think any of them really knew what was on the line here. I think they assumed some sort of title shot, maybe a shot at the U.S. title after the winner is crowned tonight. But, I mean, that would seem like a great prize.
Give up. Give up.
Terry Funk, this is the Supreme sponsored pre-show.
Yeah, this is the Supreme Buick Invitational 8-man tournament. This is the finals between Aladdin Bell and Dubois, and then shortly thereafter we will be starting the main show. Big drop kick in the corner. Aladdin is starting to get heat up here. Dubois was looking for that cane, but Aladdin was fighting his way up. He's decided to go back and smash him up some more. Going up top again. Dubois is putting everything on the line. No, he thought twice about it, actually.
1, 2.
I guess sometimes you can just tell if it's going to be a bad idea to jump off the top.
Yeah, Aladdin hit the big tope.
2.
Oh, well, I thought Dubois might have been close enough to reach out for the ropes, but I guess he didn't need to.
French never give up like that.
True. Oh, very close for Dubois.
Wow. Aladdin with another tope. Uh-oh, Dubois driver. But he's way too close to the ropes. But that did some damage. Aladdin smartly throwing him out of the ring. I don't know about following him out there. Oh, chair. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Yep.
Jesus. Federal Bell's baby boy is not afraid to,
I like that Dubois was going for his own before he got knocked out of his hand. Oh,
he's going for a duel of chairs.
A third chair. There's already 2 of them. Oh, God. I guess it's kind of like a bird that falls out of the nest once it gets, the the taint on it, you don't want to pick it up again. Like once that chair falls, you don't. For some reason, these guys don't like to pick them back up.
I think Aladdin was standing on him, so that makes things pretty difficult.
Could be.
There's the cane back in action. Oh, I just got 1,000 Bianchi bucks just for hanging out. That's the kind of loyalty that bikeowners are all about.
That's the kind of wasteful spending that shows that Bike Bianchi shouldn't be in charge of a business.
Yeah.
Just giving 1,000 Bianchi bucks to everybody.
3 count, the big right hand.
Off the big Dubois punch. I don't know what's French for right or hand or punch, but he did all of those things.
Yeah. Charles Dubois has won the Supreme Buick Invitational Tournament. He will be rewarded with a Sandwich Club card. And maybe Bike will spit some Bianchi bucks at him as well. That was pretty astonishing. What a field. And then coming up in a few moments, we have the Sons of Anger present 311 Day live U.S. Tournament Finals. Yeah.
I'm surprised Bike hasn't tried to book that indie wrestler 911 just out of like, oh, it's close enough to 311.
I wonder if he's still
He
even
might be
alive.
dead. He's probably dead. I would be surprised if he's not.
Well, you know what? I don't think he's dead. Which is truly astonishing. Let Lou has informed Bianchi. I don't know what that does, but we are starting up in a few moments here. You can check out the card for tonight, featuring the U.S. title tournament finals.
The final 4, which might be a copyrighted term. So
it could be. We have Spencer Morgan going up against Karate Hendrix and Knight's Bane Cult against Chucky Murphy. You can see all 4 of those men featured in the hastily thrown together, it looks like, graphic of the Sons of Anger logo, and then another Sons of Anger logo, and then some 311 knockoff thing. I don't really get it.
Now, as you can see Knight's Bane Cult is facing is looking the other way as the other 3 men, so that's clearly an Illuminati calling card.
Yeah, I mean, we know the Sons of Anger are all into the Illuminati. Stuff
Hello.
Like that. Oh my
Jason.
God.
Well, I'm actually going to go offline really, really quickly so we can have a clean cut for this replay. Stay with us. Don't leave.